Taurus, your love card for 2026 is the Devil card, and might suggest that you're deeply involved with someone who has strong Capricorn in the natal chart. This could be their sun, their moon, or their rising sign, or maybe they have a prominent Saturn in their chart. If not, your partner could be older, or this could be a partnership with a considerable age difference. Or this might be someone who's very career conscious, hardworking, disciplined, someone reserved or conservative. This could also be someone who's a public figure, well established, and they hold some measure of power and status that makes them known in the community. So this could be a business person or someone involved in real estate or a landlord. They might be a financier. Maybe they're involved in government, politics, or civil service. Maybe it's someone who connects to natural resources like a landowner or surveyor or rancher, or maybe they work with things that come from the earth like gemstones or minerals. Or perhaps their profession deals with science, the economy, or efficiency. And this person might also be a chiropractor or a health professional with a specialty in teeth and bones, to name a few. But for some of you, this is someone from the past or someone that you've known for a very long time, or even an ex. Now, for those of you who are currently single, the year can play out a number of ways depending on your outlook. Some of you might feel lonely or you're mistrustful of relationship based on some bad experiences that you've had. Or maybe you're very narrow-minded in your views about what a relationship should look like. Or maybe you feel nervous about entering an alliance, especially if it's been a long time since you were with someone. So your pessimism could make you very non-committal, or you might attract people like this. So there could be some fear surrounding exactly how much another person will want from you, whether that's money or time. Maybe you have fears of being used. Now, you might have other concerns that supersede involvement. Maybe, you're dealing with a long-term illness, or you suffer from depression, or maybe career ambitions take priority. Or maybe you're just very focused on overcoming some kind of hardship. Maybe it's debt or poverty or bankruptcy or just some type of lack. If the choice is not toward union, you may be doing a lot of retrospection during this year about the past relationships, and your life in general. Unfortunately, a small number of you could be alone because you've been recently widowed. If you're looking for someone or hoping to partner, there could be some delays or challenges to overcome. Again, maybe you're nervous about putting yourself out there, or you're apprehensive about the pool of prospects. And there's good reason for caution, because this is a year where you could find yourself tempted toward the wrong kind of partner or partnering for the wrong reasons. So you'll have to use your common sense. Even if you get optimistic or excited by someone, you need to keep your feet firmly on the ground. But if you listen to your intuition, you will clearly see accurately the merits or the intentions of other people. Now, for those of you in an unhappy relationship, this year will drive the point home about dissatisfaction. And in some cases, that may tempt you to step outside of the relationship. Maybe there's a lot of negativity between you and this other person, and your relationship has become monotonous or restrictive or even oppressive. And if so, the drudgery of your relationship could feel very heavy and burdensome. Now, in some cases, maybe your partner is ill, or they have some serious issues where you're shouldering a lot of the responsibility, or they are, and that takes a toll on the relationship. And for some, that burden could also come as a result of an addiction or compulsive behaviors that are unhealthy. In fact, it's possible that either of you could have some bad habits or some negative character traits, the tendency to be exploitative, cruel, greedy, overly materialistic, selfish. Maybe one of you is very jealous, domineering, smothering, or overly dependent. And maybe you're caught up in the blame game where guilt is used as a tactic to keep the other one in line or compliant. And perhaps this also exhibits as some miserliness where one of you keeps a tight rein on the money or spending because of a scarcity consciousness, or you withhold money, love, or sex as a form of punishment. Hopefully, you're making decisions not to stay in an abusive relationship where obedience is expected, because if that's the case, you need to examine whether you might have an inferiority complex or what is the real basis of your connection. And depending on your answer, you might consider who's actually using whom, and why there's a refusal to leave a bad situation. So this could be a union of dominance and submission that drives a power dynamic motivated by an obsession with power, sex, or money. For some of you, this is a connection that is slow moving, either to get off the ground and get going, or to move the relationship to the next level, whatever you perceive that to be. That may be for all the reasons that I've named, or maybe you've just met someone who's rather shy, they're nervous, inhibited, or they have some kind of hang-up. Or maybe you come off as detached, aloof, or unapproachable. This card ties to Saturn, and Saturn tends to get a bad rap. But you cannot establish or have an enduring, long-lasting relationship without Saturn. So in the positive, some of you will meet or you're already involved with someone who is loyal, faithful, and devoted. This person takes relationship very seriously, and they may be very traditional with old school values. But for better or worse, this is a relationship that can feel very karmic in nature. Your emotional and material instincts are strong and focused on survival, but they need to lead you in the right direction, because if you push matters too far, there will be consequences. It's a year to recognize healthy boundaries, so that you don't push beyond what you're capable of in a relationship or allow yourself to be dominated. That means recognizing passive choosing as well as no-win situations where the habit is to take on the personal challenge of trying to save or change destructive partners. So this is a year where integrity and decency are the center stones from which you must build outward in a relationship. You have a lot of influence to talk yourself, a partner, or a love interest into something that suits your purpose. And that purpose should be positive. Maybe you're talking yourself into staying in a bad relationship. Maybe you're talking a partner into something that doesn't serve their best interest. Or maybe you're talking yourself into a temptation you'll later regret. But you're facing your own inner devil this year, and the situations that are unfolding are meant to help you own your shadow self, your frailties, and your failures in order to get on with your best life.